Okay. Oh, and while I have you, this week's foundation is Fenty. The reason why I busted this out is because I have the, as many of y'all know, I have the concealer and the powder, and I just wanted to kind of give them another go. So that's what we're wearing today. I didn't have a lot of issues with blotting. I did get a little scared this morning because I used the honey powder to set my foundation. And have you ever brushed away your foundation and you can see basically the outline of how, like where you set it? That part scared me. So I went over, because once I brushed honey away, I basically had proof that I had set. And I was like, oh my God. So I went over it with my Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless. I'm in the shade 330 Toffee. So I brushed over the leftover honey with that, and then I sprayed with setting spray, and I think that helped everything melt into each other. So that's what we're wearing today. Oh, and just a random little update. Coffin nails are not, or I'm sorry, stiletto nails are not for me. I'm glad I just got 2 nails. Both of my pinkies are stiletto. Everything else is coffin. And yeah, this isn't for me. It's hard for me to type A's and whatever is on the other side of the keyboard that your pinky is supposed to be on. It's hard for me to type. So next time I go get a fill-in, I'm going to see if she can try and make this one coffin. Although I don't know if she'll be able to. But you never know until you ask. So just a random little update. Okay, it's shower time, get ready for bedtime, all that stuff. So I'll see you later. Bye. Y'all, I am so mad. Have you ever had one of those days where just like everything that kind of could go wrong is going wrong? So I'm headed to this event, this brunch that I think I told y'all about earlier. I had this whole laid out plan for parking and all this stuff, and the lot that I was going to park at, I was looking it up on Google Maps, and they had this app. It's like a Go Mobile parking app or whatever, and the picture, apparently the picture that was taken of that lot is old, because I downloaded the app and I had planned to pay to park because I just wanted peace of mind. This thing is still broken. I just wanted the peace of mind of knowing that my car was not going to be booted or towed, because the event, which I'm going to go into a mini tiny rant about that. I'm a little annoyed at where they chose to have the event, because the event has very limited parking, very limited. They've sent out 4 different messages telling people to Uber or Lyft, and I just got annoyed by that, because you're already paying between $40 and $70 for a ticket. I could have gotten my ticket for around $45, $50, but I was waiting on a homegirl of mine to confirm whether or not she was going, and I never heard from her. And by the time I realized that I never heard from her, the ticket prices had gone up. So by the time you pay for a ticket, now you're telling me to Uber or Lyft. What if I live in Gwinnett County, which is not close? What if I live in Cobb County? What if, you know what I mean? So it just kind of irked me that they're wanting people to pay for these tickets, and now you're wanting me to Uber or Lyft there. And I felt like at the very least they could have maybe collaborated with Uber or Lyft and had some kind of code for people to be able to do this ride sharing service, whatever. So I say all that to say, I haven't even gone by the event. I'm currently in an IKEA parking lot, because again, the initial lot that I was going to try and park at, they no longer have those signs up for the app that I downloaded on my phone. So obviously I'm not going to park my car somewhere where they don't have an app saying it's okay to park here as long as you pay, and all I see are signs up saying, you know, unless you work for these companies, you're going to be towed. So obviously we're not going to do that. So Steve was like, why don't you just go to the IKEA? No one's going to be, you know, checking for your car. I hope he's right. So what I'm about to do now is just leave IKEA and pray that my car is still here when I return. But yeah, and my other camera, the camera that I use to vlog, it shit the bed. I don't know what the problem is. It does this thing where when you record, the lens extends, and when you turn it off, or you know, when you turn the camera on, the lens extends, and when you turn the camera off, the lens goes back into what I call its shell. Well, I was recording a Get Ready With Me this morning, and I turned it off because I was doing my eyebrows, and I'm like, people have seen me do my eyebrows before, you know, no need to put you through it again. And when I went back to turn the camera on, it was still in the on position, but the camera wasn't on. And the battery was fine and all that, so I was confused as to why it was just stuck. And that's what it is, it's just stuck, and I don't know why. So hopefully I can figure out how to fix that. But yeah, I don't know what time it is. But I need to go ahead and order my Uber and get there. It's 12:30. The event starts at 1. So let me change my shoes and figure out how I'm gonna do this. All right, so I'll see y'all later. So apparently Uber has this app where you can say, I'll do a short walk to meet my Uber driver. Only problem is, I don't know where the fuck I'm going. This isn't being very helpful, but I think I'm going in the right direction. I'm parked at IKEA. It's like all of this is really taking a shit. It's like, it's just taking a toll on my mood, and now I don't even want to go. But obviously I'm gonna go because I didn't pay for my ticket and I done came down here. But I'm just saying. And obviously I'm out of breath. But yeah, I have no idea where I am right now. Oh, I think he's close. Okay. So, or he's close to where we're supposed to meet, but I don't know how close I am to where we're supposed to meet. I don't know. So this is what happens when you sign up for an event and then they say that the location of the event is private until it gets closer to the event, because then once you find out where the event is, you realize you in for some shit.
Ready to do this again. Like, I lost the business to a fire, but I'm an entrepreneur. Like, and everything that I've ever touched in my life turned to gold. And that was like a perceived failure, but I needed that to happen in order to have the proper resources and skills to open up Slutty Vegan. So I was sitting in my bedroom, and it hit me like a light bulb. And I don't know if anybody else is like this. Like, I'm an idea machine. Like,
Ignore how sorry, I was reading a text message when I started recording this. So ignore how out of breath I am. I just got home. I've been running around since I left the event. There was like some Uber drama. I did like the Uber pool, and there were 2 other girls from the event in the car with me, and they did like I did. They parked in the area. Thankfully, my car was still at IKEA. She had the Uber driver take her to her car only to realize she didn't have her keys on her. So then the Uber driver took her back to the event where she went inside to try to find her keys, where she thought she left them and she couldn't find them. So she was like, okay, I'm gonna have to, hopefully it's still recording, my phone's on low power. And she was like, okay, I'm just gonna have to call another Uber, I gotta find my keys. So I left the mall, or I left the event. I went to Lenox Mall to buy myself a present that I'll show you later. Then I left Lenox Mall to go to Perimeter Mall because I ordered some shoes online and I had to go pick them up in store in Dillard's at Perimeter Mall. Only to get the shoes, and the girl at the counter was nice, and she was like, are these shoes? And I said, yeah. She was like, well, you want to try them on before you leave? And I was like, oh, I didn't even think about that. Good looking out. Tried them on. The shoes, while they fit, they had some straps that were not adjustable, and I have narrow feet, narrow skinny feet. So it had one strap that was adjustable. It had like the little holes in it, and then the other strap wasn't, and you could see it was a lot, and it wouldn't have been a good look. And it was so funny because there was another girl up there working the counter. She was like, "Oh girl, those shoes are cute, but as big as they look on your feet," she was like, "I don't know if you'll be able to pull it off." I was like, "Good looking out, sis." So even though I bought the shoes, picked them up, I returned them right then because it was at customer service. So there's that. And y'all, look at this. So this is the camera. I think I mentioned this earlier. I'm so all over the place today. So this is the camera I've used. I've shown y'all this before. When I turn it, this is the position that it's in when it's on. Sorry, and I'm not looking at the... This is the position that the camera is in when it's on. And when I turn it off, this part goes back into the camera. Well, as you can see, even though I'm hitting the on-off button, nothing's happening. So I don't know if the battery is completely dead on this thing. I haven't dropped this camera recently. If you've been with me for a while, you know I dropped it in the water, in the sink last year. It bounced back like a champ, but now it just seems to be stuck. So I'm gonna try and buy another battery for it on Amazon and hope that this does it, because I don't know what the problem is. It was showing no signs of I'm about to shit the bed, and it's shit the bed. And I love this thing. And you know what's funny, really quick, I'm already 3 minutes into this little clip. I have been, and I know I've been saying this to y'all a lot, and you're probably tired of hearing it, but it's an internal struggle. This is recycling, sorry, as I told you, my mind's all over the place. So, for those of you who don't know, I've been doing YouTube videos for years. 4 years? 5 years? I can't even remember. And my channel hasn't grown the way I'd hoped it would, especially with me being consistent, blah, blah, whatever. Point is, I was like, if I don't have the numbers that I feel I should have by December 31, 2019, I'm done. Now, granted, my blog is new, but I wasn't gonna blog because I only have like 3 or 4 people on my email chain. Thank you, Sasha, and thank you, Fallon. And I think the other person is me, and then Steve's on it, and Steve don't count. So I don't have a lot of people on my email chain. Saying all that to say, I told myself that if I didn't have the numbers that I thought, or that I wanted to have, that I visualized myself having by the end of the year, that I was gonna stop vlogging, blogging. I was just gonna be done. I was just gonna say, I put in my work, and it just didn't happen. And I was like, well, God, if that's what you want me to do, if that's what it is, if that's your vision, if that's, you know, let me know. And then my camera broke. So is God. God's trying to tell you something. Is that what it is? Is he saying, baby, just sit down? Because it's not for you. Is that, I need a translator. So, again, I'm going to try and buy this battery and see if that helps. But I was in the middle of my get ready with me, and the camera stopped. So, needless to say, there won't be a get ready with me, which is fine. I had to take my lashes off. This little corner here was starting to lift, and I didn't want people talking to me and being like, ooh, this girl don't know how to put lashes on, so I took them off. But let me go ahead and stop because I've been rambling for 5 minutes and 4 seconds. So I definitely had to bust out an oldie but a goodie. I mean, it still works. This is an old Samsung camera. I don't know what it's called, but this was the camera that I bought when I first started doing my YouTube videos. Okay, so I've been home for a little bit. My mind kind of started to slow down just a little bit. I am currently on Amazon. Well, I was before I came back here because the sun's going down. It's 6:35 and the lighting in the living room is terrible, so I decided to come in the guest room. This is the battery that goes in the camera I showed y'all earlier, so I found one on Amazon. I'm going to go ahead and order it and hope that it works, but if it doesn't work, I can either be super dedicated and start recording my videos with the camera I'm using now, even though it's not as high quality. It's a little less expensive than the other camera, and it's just funny that this one is the one that's sticking around. What is my point? Okay, so my thoughts on the brunch. I will say this, and I think I kind of expressed some of my frustrations earlier, but now that I've kind of calmed down, I'm gonna reiterate briefly. So one of the things that irked me, as I mentioned before, was the location. They didn't tell you where the event was going to take place when you purchased the tickets. They didn't reveal where the event was taking place until, I'm not sure, but it was like days before the event, and there were no refunds on the tickets. and then they let you know multiple times. They sent 4 different emails saying, we suggest you Lyft or Uber because parking is very limited. Now they did have, I found out when I got there, they did have a parking lot, if you will, across the street from where the event took place, but parking there was limited as well. So as I said before, it just kind of irked me that they were wanting people to Uber and Lyft, because again, if you lived far away, again, Cobb County, Gwinnett County, somewhere like that, having to go to West Midtown, that's not a cheap Uber ride. I stay not far from Midtown, and it would have cost me $20 one way. So that's a $40 Uber ride right there. You know what I'm saying? So I just felt like if nothing else, they should have had some kind of code, or they should have gotten some kind of cahoots or agreement with Uber or Lyft, like, hey, use this code and save some money, or just something. So that personally irked me a bit, that I had to drive to IKEA, park my car, and then Lyft, or I Ubered actually, it doesn't matter. But my point is, I just felt like that could have been done better. Aside from that, the event, the food was good. The food was good. The actual way the building was laid out, it made it a little hard to network, because if you saw my videos from earlier, which I got on my phone, it was just, they had vendors lined up, little tables with like placement and stuff, and then it was the event, and then it was the room where the event took place, and then people were just sitting down. And so it's kind of weird to me to have just some random girl sitting down on her phone, and then you're just sitting next to her like, hey, how's it going? Da-da-da. I mean, yeah, you could do that with a couple of people, but just to kind of get up and talk to different people who are just seated on different sides of the room, to me, that's a little weird. Whereas if people were standing, maybe the body language would be a little, I don't know. But to me personally, for someone who's not a fan of networking, and it's just funny because I've been to multiple networking events and I don't like it. I still don't think I'm good at it. I still think it's weird. I would really like for the people who, I've been to different networking events who say, don't say that you don't like to network. This is how you do it. You walk up to people and you notice things on them. Like with me, if you're talking to me and you notice I have on this Africa necklace, ooh, girl, I like your necklace. And then that starts the conversation. Ooh, where'd you get it? What do you do? Da-da-da. And then if we exchange cards, you write Africa necklace on the card so that way you'll remember me and stuff like that. But to me, it's not that easy. And it's just kind of weird. And I did talk to one girl who was seated not next to me, but in the chair next to me. Because I noticed she wasn't eating, and I'm over here tearing my food up. And I was like, girl, you're not going to get a plate? And she was like, no, I'm good. And I was like, okay. And then we kind of just got into some random chit chat. And she was telling me that she is a teacher at one of the school districts here. And she's trying to get some kind of business going with teaching and stuff like that. So obviously, well, I'm not going to say obviously, but I don't really know how she and I could mesh professionally or, anything like that. So, and it was just hard, and I didn't really talk to anybody else around me because it was just awkward to me. So yeah, but I do think the ladies who were there, they gave good advice. Of course, I don't have my phone on me. Let me go get my phone so I can read you some of the things because I did take a little bit of notes. And one thing I've kind of noticed, and maybe it's just me, maybe I've just been to so many of these that this is why what I'm about to say is what I'm about to say, that for the most part, no one's inventing the wheel. And by that I mean, some people have the same advice as other people. They just may say it differently or have a different, I don't know. I don't know if that makes sense. But for the most part, most people, depending on like what area of expertise they're in, and sometimes not, they can be a totally different job, but most people just kind of say the same thing. If you really listen and just like compare different, or not compare, but listen to different people and just put together the things that they say, ignore that. So one thing one of the ladies said was talking about how don't compare yourself to other people. That's pretty much the worst thing you can do. She said something to the effect of, you're over here looking at what's on her plate when you need to be cooking your own food and eating off your own plate. And if you scroll enough through Instagram, you'll see people who say, don't compare yourself to other people. That's the worst thing you could do. Da-da-da. Just focus on you. And you know what I'm saying? So if you look, you'll see that as I said, no one's inventing the wheel. You just got to find a way to apply what they're saying to your situation. And I guess my problem is I haven't done that yet, because I don't know what my situation is to apply anything to it. They were talking about how, like, when you post to social media, try to have a pattern with how you post, and create call to actions to get people to be more interactive with your post. Like, if I washed my hair, which is what I did yesterday. Hey, I just washed my hair and I use this new shampoo and my hair looks all like this and gorgeous. What's your favorite shampoo? Something that will make people read it and be like, oh girl, my favorite shampoo is Design Essentials. Or my favorite shampoo is that Moroccan oil. You know what I'm saying? Like something that'll get people to engage with you. So they were talking about stuff like that. Figuring out what people like and give it to them, which is something that I've had. Another lady that I follow on Instagram, she occasionally does Q&As on her IG, and she'll do like IG lives. And I said that to her. I was like, I started my Instagram, or I started YouTube for beauty videos, but I'm noticing that more people like my vlogs. And I was like, any advice? And she basically was like, if people like your vlogs, keep vlogging. Which again, if that's what people like, if that's what people are responding to, then that's what you do. Why would you continue to do stuff that they don't respond to as much, so, or at all, whatever. So again, it was just one of those things. I just kind of had that little light bulb moment, like, this sounds familiar, this sounds just like what another girl said. Not saying that it wasn't enlightening or that it wasn't good to kind of hear it again, but my point is, if you just listen to what other people say, you'll realize that pretty much everybody's kind of saying the same thing, and they just found a way to make it work for them. So I mean, yeah, it was cool. It was cool. That's really, I mean, it was cool. That's all I have to say. If nothing else, I got out of the house because God knows I need to do that more. And yeah, that was about it. I do wish I would have met more people. They did have a table toward the end of toward the exit that had a bunch of people's business cards on it, so you could tell people would just walk by and threw their business cards out, and then I could see other people looking through, being like, "Ooh, so and so is a chef. Ooh, so and so is a makeup artist." So since y'all know I had my business cards redone, I threw 3 of my business cards on the table. Will anything come from that? Who knows? But one of these days, I do want to challenge myself to be a little bit better with networking despite the circumstances. Because again, you heard me say, well, you know, the layout made it awkward. Next time I go to an event, which I will be going to one on March 9th, I need to, regardless as to how awkward the layout is, to just do it. Just find a way. And I guess my thing is, I'm kind of scared of potentially wasting time talking to people. Oh, girl, here's my card. Oh, you do this. Oh, I do this. Maybe we can collaborate. Maybe da-da-da. And then we exchange cards and then we never hear from people. That irks me to my soul. But I do have an event that I'm going to on March 9th. And I'm going to go see, remember how I just mentioned that there was a lady who I asked her about the whole vlogging and beauty videos. She is going to be speaking there. So I do plan to go there and just try to hopefully meet her in person. Just let her know that I appreciate her advice and blah, blah, blah. Because she's receptive to her DMs and stuff whenever I'll mention something or ask something. So, and her name is Mandy James, for anyone who's curious. But yeah, so that's one thing. I do have an objective when I go to that event on March 9th, is to meet her and just, if nothing else, just say thank you. So yeah, that was my day today. I'm tired. It's almost 7 o'clock. Damn, it's almost 7 o'clock. Yeah, bet you've been out. You look at me being social. Now I'm tired. I got to get up at the ass crack of dawn tomorrow. I got to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning, but hopefully I'll be working a half day tomorrow. And yeah, that's about it. So I just wanted to share my thoughts with y'all on that. And until later. Good morning. It's 8:18. You already know I'm headed to work, and you already know I'm tired. I'm having to use my phone still because my camera is still paralyzed. I ordered some batteries off Amazon. I think I told y'all that the other day, and according to Amazon, they're supposed to be here today. So I'm hoping that I'm able to rectify this issue, because if I cannot, well, we're not even gonna finish that sentence. I just hope I'm able to rectify the issue. Today is Friday. I'm so happy because I am over this week. I had to start my week off early AF. I had to be up at 6, meet somebody at 7, and then I didn't have to work a long day, but still, that's not, I don't normally have to. I normally get up at 7, not have to be somewhere at 7. So needless to say, that messed with me a little bit. I could have went, I don't care. So that messed with me a little bit. So that's how I started my week off, and then I had to work late last night. I worked from 8:30 to 8:30. So yeah, needless to say, I'm a little worn out. My schedule's been all over the place and whatever, but thank God it's Friday. Literally, thank God. What else? I'm so glad that it's March 1st. I think I told y'all this. I can't remember what I've told y'all and what I haven't. I've been on a beauty no-buy for the entire month of March, or for the entire month of February. And yeah, so now that February's over, I can buy my stuff from Sephora. Although I'm proud of myself with my Sephora purchases, because I really don't have, I know I have a conditioner in there, which I am kind of sort of almost out of conditioner. I have a conditioner in there, I have some Fenty in there. My point is, it's not a lot. With my Ulta order, that stuff is a lot, because I'm out of my hand food pretty much. Like every time you squeeze the bottle out, it kind of goes everywhere. That's how you know you need some more. I'm out of my hand food, I'm out of my Heal Genius, I'm out of my Neutrogena cloths. I ran out of face masks. Like, I'm out of all of my go-to stuff. So that's all in my Ulta cart. So I will be ordering all of that stuff today. And I should get off early today. When I get off today, I need to go to the store. I have not been to the grocery store in days, weeks. I don't know how long it's been. It's been a while. And I need to go get a wax, and I need to go to the chiropractor. I stood up for a long time yesterday, and the first time I bent over, you would have thought I was like an 80-year-old woman, because I was like, oh, like I was making all these terrible, terrible noises. So yeah, it's definitely time for me to go for another back cracking. I want to try to go at least once a month, but I realize that they charge me $60 a month. I have like a membership with them or whatever, and they charge me $60 a month. So I am gonna start going twice a month. I don't think that would do me. I think that would be good for me to go twice a month. So the only reason why I was, yep, that just happened. The only reason why I was going once a month was because that's how often I get waxed. And it's easy because the waxer and the chiropractor are literally across like a grassy knoll from each other. So it's easy to just go bloop, bloop. Literally bloop, bloop. But I'll just have to figure it out, because I'm going to get my $60 worth. Random fact about me. I have been at my job for a little more than a year, maybe like a year and 2 weeks, and I have not called out sick once. And if you, coming from the career I used to be in, media, TV news, I called out all the time, because it was a lot. And just the fact that I've been at my job as long as I have and I don't call out. I remember at the job before my last one, before I changed careers, I remember them telling me, like, you have 10 sick days for the year. They don't roll over, so if you don't use them, you lose them. I called out every month. Like, every month I took a sick day. And I haven't called out sick once on this job, and I feel like I might need to. Just for mental health. And one random thought, I know I was bragging on how I didn't make any beauty buys this month. One thing I can say, for the most part, I wasn't really tempted, because trust me when I tell you, I'm on all the emails. You know, Anastasia is selling this, ColourPop's doing that, you know, whatever other brand that I follow. And people were having stuff like ColourPop was doing 2-day, 48 hours, free shipping. was tempting, but I was like, no, stay strong, anime, stay strong. No, it's stay strong, Bernadette, stay strong. That's what it is. I knew it was an Angela Bassett character. If you know what I'm talking about, you're the real MVP. It's from Waiting to Exhale. I was so proud of myself. And now we about to dive in order. But again, it's literally, I'm just getting something from Ulta and Sephora. And once I get those 2 orders, I should be good for a little bit. Probably for another month, unless I stock up on my Neutrogena wipes or I stock up on my face masks and stuff. So, we'll see. I really need to get this thing fixed because it will not stay up and it is a pain in my entire ass. But the rule was to get it looked at when I get an oil change, and I'm at 30%. So when I get to 15%, we'll see. Okay, I'm almost at work now. Bye.